Hey guys, welcome to Advancing Security. Today's topic is before the concert, security and crowd control. This video is meant for all you security guards out there or people entering security that are thinking about doing crowd control in special events, doing safety services in special events. Now, there are many different types of special events out there. I'm going more towards the concert route right now because of what happened with the Travis Scott concert at the Astralworld situation, right? This is just meant to be an introductory to get you in to understand before you sign up for this type of gig so you have a better idea of how to do things. Anyways, let's get started. All right, guys, this video is gonna focus on before the concert. This is gonna be for you guards that are the main safety contractors for that special event. You know, security is there before, during, and after. And depending on the situation, some of you guys are gonna be there before the concert, which I think is the best time to talk about, because when you prepare for the concert, you practice for the concert for that special event, that is gonna increase the likelihood for success and for you to give the best service that you can to your client. Before the concert starts, you have very simple things happening for security or that involve security. They're organizing where EMS, ambulances are gonna be, where law enforcement is gonna be, where possibly fire department is gonna be at, depending how big the venue is. They're setting up, areas for water. They're setting up the music, the stage, the lights, and especially for all that equipment that's there, security most likely is gonna be there for those events, right? During that time, your supervisor, your manager, and the client should be coming together talking about what's gonna happen in the special event. I find it very sad and disheartening whenever I go to a gig and I haven't been given any information about what the concert is gonna look like. They just tell me, you're gonna be here and that's it. That's not how security is supposed to work. Every security personnel is supposed to get a little bit of theoretical training. So people have to talk about what's gonna happen, then they have to see what's gonna happen, and then they have to practice what's gonna happen. Let's go into first the talking part of what's gonna happen in the concert. So what you need to do with your team, is huddle together and talk about the concert. How many people you're expecting? How many safety personnel is gonna be there? Where are the exit points and the entry points? Are there gonna be wands? Are there gonna be pat downs? Is there gonna be tents, or whatever it is that's gonna make your job more difficult? And you start seeing little loopholes, like little weakness in security and safety, and then you start giving out your thoughts and feelings about it. And the director, supervisor, whoever's leading you guys should be able to address it and do their best to adjust to it. And you have to make sure you're being vocal before the concert, because you have to anticipate things. We are aware that there are accidents that happen in concert, that there are things that are out of your hand, but there's a lot of things that we need to do to prevent those things that get out of your hands. There's always room for error in everything that we do, and we need to understand that, right? So you need to talk. That's the theoretical part of your training, communicating all that stuff, right? Then you need to see what's going on. You need to do a walkthrough of the perimeter, right? With your team. You have to physically stand and be told, this is where you're gonna be. Over there is gonna be the people with water bottles hydrating the patrons of the concerts, our guests. While you're in this position here, you have to make sure nobody's seeing the water bottles, and this tent is safe, the equipment here is fine, nobody's touching the amps, whatever it is that you're doing. You talk about it, then you see where everything is. After you see where everything is and where everybody's supposed to be, that is when you do the personal walkthrough. And what I mean by that is you practice now. Like, all right, I'm gonna stand here, and one of the guards or one of the employees that's not a safety employee, they're gonna pretend to go in through the entrance, give their ticket, get wanded, whatever it is they're gonna do. Then they're gonna walk to the concert. That's how it should be. That's how it's supposed to be. If these steps are not done properly, the chances of safety personnel doing the job correctly greatly decreases. So you have to talk about it, you have to see what's going to happen, then you have to practice. You actually have to do it. So talk, walk, see. That's the best 3 ways of people learning things, right? Now let's get into equipment. Look, there's always the chance of something happening, right? You can't always stop what's gonna happen to other people, but you need to prevent things to happen to you so you can greatly increase the chances of you helping other people. First, be aware of the weather. If you're outside in a concert, be aware of the type of weather that's gonna be. There's gonna be cold, there's gonna be cloudy, can it possibly rain, all that stuff. Bring the proper clothing that you're gonna wear for that event, right? After that, after you have your gear that's gonna make you comfortable, make sure that you have proper footwear. Proper footwear is very important. What happens if you are in an area where it was raining the day before the concert and it's all muddy? You don't want to be wearing shoes that are not water resistant or waterproof. You want to make sure that your feet don't get soggy, because that could lead to a lot of potential problems the next day after work. Your skin and your feet gets peely and things like that, and it causes a lot of trouble, especially if you're standing guard. After you're prepared for the weather, it's time to be prepared for the defensive part of the job. You know, things can happen, violent outbursts can happen anywhere, and you only have so much control over that. Please understand that. So what you want to do is invest in the right equipment. I know a lot of us are in a budget and we can't afford the fancy $2,000 worth of equipment that is out there, but you can slowly build up your loadout, right? So one thing I tell people to invest that's very affordable is the karate forearm and shin pads. They're super affordable on Amazon. You know, it doesn't break the bank. The reason you want to get this is that you never know if you're going to get in a fist fighting situation or somebody might pick up a rock or something. You know, you being able to cover up and you have that protective padding makes it so that you don't hurt your face or your torso, and you use your arms as a shield as you're supposed to. And at the same time, it decreases the chances of your your forearms getting hurt, right? So you want to get those paddings. Besides that, you want to make sure you're also carrying a good flashlight. This flashlight needs to have some function to it. It should just not only turn on and off. Make sure it has a blinker set to it. The good thing about these flashlights that have a blinker set to it is that when you're in a concert, there are certain guards, even though they're wearing an earpiece, they can't hear too much because of the music. But let's say you're working with John. John is a good 200 feet away from you and you're trying to radio him. Yo, John, come in. John, come in. He's not answering because he's so close to the music. You can take the flashlight, blink at him. And then, you do a sign like to the ear. You blink, do a sign to the ear, and he'll try to walk away from the music. And then he's like, yo, this is John, what's going on? Boom, right there, right? Besides for the communication aspect, you can signal help with it. You got the SOS function on it, and you also have the quick strobe on it, right? That quick strobe, you tell everybody in your team, only use a quick strobe if you need EMS or immediate backup right there, and you can't reach nobody with the radio, right? Also with the flashlight, it's also a melee tool. It's an improvised weapon. You know, going fisticuffs on somebody, if you hit them in the wrong spot, you hit them in their elbow, you hit them in the skull, you probably only have 2 or 3 shots in it before your knuckles break, unless you're really training your fists like that, you know. But if you were training your fists like that, you have a lot of accuracy, you will have a lot of sparring, experience. But if you're not that type of person, you're better off using an impact tool, which is your flashlight. So make sure you have a good flashlight that you could practice your hammer fist with if you ever have to use it as a improvised weapon. Fights do break out. There's things that happen in concert. That's why we're there. We're not just there to prevent it. We're there to stop it and decrease the chance of things escalating beyond that, right? Let's talk about the radio. Make sure you have the right type of equipment on your radio that you can listen to when people are speaking. Make sure you're on the right channel. Make sure that when you have your radio on you, which is going to probably be handed to you by your management team, right? By your supervisor, make sure it's on the right frequency. If there's certain concerts that are so big or certain special events that's so big that you might use more than one frequency. One frequency might be for the people on stage, possibly, or the people, that are in the ambulance or whatever. Another frequency might just be for the security guard team. And within all those frequencies, there might be 1 or 2 people that are carrying 1 or 2 radios on them. They'll have one in each ear, and they'll be like the command center of bringing in information from frequency 1 to frequency 2, because there'll be so much chatter going on the radio that is not going to be security guard related for you. And then you need somebody to vent that out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Besides the radio, besides the flashlight, besides the winter or the weather gear, you know, the padding and stuff, you want to really invest in a bulletproof vest. There are a lot of companies out there that are giving great deals with the bulletproof vest, where you can just pay up to $100 a month, you know, for the next 6 months or whatever it is, and you can have a good level of protection on your torso. So that part is very important. A criminal, a real criminal, professional, can bypass basic security. There's only so much safety that we can provide depending on the skill level of the team, depending on the budget of the people coordinating the event, right? We can vent most of the situations that are happening, like we can decrease the chances of a newbie criminal bringing in the wrong thing into the concert, but the professional, they're gonna figure it out, man. Now, the last tip I'm gonna be talking about is very, very important. There has to be communication between the safety staff and the MC. The MC is the master of ceremony. They're the ones everybody wants to see. They're the headliners, right? Like Travis Scott and his concert. There has to be communication between safety and the MC. The MC has the power to hypnotize people. People, when they come to a concert or special event, for the most part, they're dropping a lot of mental barriers. These mental barriers is what lets you act within your personal norm. But when you're within a crowd, when you're really focused on that one individual, the headline in front of you, you're willing to do a lot of things they're willing to tell you, because you're so hypnotized, you're so in love with that person, you know. And if that person has no idea there's people fainting, they can't help security. And I understand that the MC can't be wearing an earpiece because they're performing, or depending on the job, they just can't. That means that somebody has to be within 20 or 30 feet from that guy or that performer, and letting them know, hey, we need you to stop the concert for 2 minutes and address the issue over there. There's 2 people passed out in that section on your left, and you want the crowd to assist and not be a hindrance to the ambulance, so that, you know, you can streamline the safety and then the concert will get back to normal. If possible, get the MC to talk about safety before the concert. Just take 90 seconds. Like, say, hey guys, we're here to have a good time. We want everybody to enjoy themselves. We want to perform the best concert we can for you guys, but we have to address, you know, safety in the concert. So just keep in mind that area is where the ambulance is. So you have any type of situation, go to them. That area is where security is. They're providing this type of service. If you feel dehydrated for whatever reason, go over here, because we have some free water bottles for you guys, or water bottles at affordable rates, you know, or the bathroom is there. Like, let them communicate. But if there's no teamwork, there's no collaboration between security and the MC, things like what happened at the Travis Scott concert will continue to happen. And it's our job as security to greatly decrease those situations from happening. That's it. That's that, guys. Take care. So you love yourself. Hope you get some training. If you found value in this video, please press like, leave a comment down below saying thank you or gracias, and subscribe if you want to be part of this Advanced Security Guards channel's journey. Adios. Love you guys. Peace.